Hmm. All right. Think we're good to go. What's up, Jacob? But of course, what's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my first NFL Picks live stream of the year. And as you can see behind me, this is the main objective right here. Yep. Every team's mission is to get here. The Super Bowl 58. Hopefully the Browns will be able to get there. Imagine. That'd be dope. But yeah, guys, it's officially that time of year once again. It's time for my weekly pick streams. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still doing the Stephen Rose and Steel Sermon, or now Max Sports tournaments, if they are still doing those. But we're gonna get right into it, all right? So for those who are new to the streams and you don't know how these go down, well, I pull up the schedule by every week on NFL Network, on NFL.com. And I will tell you the betting odds as well as the broadcast teams for each game. And I might give my thoughts on each matchup too. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting off with Thursday Night Football. Already, technically, it's tomorrow. My God. Already. Tomorrow. Like, tomorrow. Football is back tomorrow. As we got the Kansas City Chiefs officially raising another banner, you might as well say. I believe this would be their third championship ever. Wow. This is the second one with Mahomes. And of course, they won one of the first ever Super Bowls. So this is their third. The crazy part is they could have easily been three-peating. But the Bucs said, no. No, they could have had three in like 4 years. The Bucs said, no. And of course, the Bungles said, no. They could have had 5 rings. Damn, that's crazy. Wow. Tom Brady and Joe Burrow are the difference between that happening right now. Anyways, betting line, Kansas City, only a 5-point favorite. And I'm pretty sure that's after the news that came out earlier today saying that Travis Kelce might not play due to a hyperextended knee suffered during practice. If this dude doesn't play, that's a tough way to start your year, especially in fantasy, right? Yeah. Hopefully we make the Super Bowl. No. Nah. Not if the Browns, the Bungles, and the Ravens have anything to say about it. But the Lions, actually, let's do this. For all the marquee matchups, too, I'm going to look up the rosters and we're going to compare these teams. I'm not going to do this for every game. Mostly, I'm just going to do this for the marquee matchups. Otherwise, I'd be here for 3 hours. So for this game, I'm pretty much going to do it for Thursday night, Sunday, and Monday night games. All right, so there you go. It's a new little added feature of my streams this year. So while that pulls up, I think Kansas City is going to be amped, as you can imagine. Arrowhead's going to be juiced up. And not too often do you hear about fullback nowadays. The offensive line, this is going to be a big part of this team this year. You have Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell at tackle. Very solid tackle duo. Jonah Jackson and Graham Glasgow at guard. And then the man snapping the ball, you got Frank Ragnow. So, yeah, very solid up front. Good quarterbacks. Very good running back room. Yeah, tight ends. You have Sam Laporta, the Rook, Brock Wright, and James Mitchell. And then receivers, it's a pretty solid group. Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Antoine Green, and Khalif Raymond. You're probably thinking, yo, where's J-Mo at? He's suspended because of gambling. Now, against that unit will be the Chiefs defense. Up front, you got Mike Danna, Tershawn Wharton, Derek Nnadi, and George Karlaftis. Yeah, that group does not look good without Frank Clark and Chris Jones. That's for sure. My God, that group looks mid. Linebacker, you have Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, and Jalen Watt. Gay and Bolton. Okay. And then they actually have, I guess, 5 corners, technically. They included a nickelback, but their secondary looks nice, though. Jalen Watson, Justin Reed, who can actually kick field goals, too. Brian Cook, L'Jarius Sneed, and Trent McDuffie. Of course, one name missing, Juan Thornhill. He's now with the Browns. He was a key part of that defense, and I'm glad we were able to get him. I was so excited when I heard that we signed him. But when you look at the Lions offense versus the Chiefs defense, who gets the advantage? Well, with no Chris Jones, no Frank Clark, you look at how mid their defensive line looks. Man, I think advantage goes slightly Lions. Slightly. Just ever so slightly, because, are they going to be able to get a pass rush? If the Lions O-line is fair game, I think the Lions could, maybe punch the Chiefs in the mouth a little bit, But the biggest thing is, can the Lions defense stop Pat Mahomes? Looking at the Lions defense, up front, you got a bunch of randoms, it seems like. You have Aiden Hutchinson. And then other than him, you got John Kaminsky, Isaiah Buggs, and Aleem McNeil. So, okay, really nobody. A bunch of nobodies next to Aiden. That's tough. Linebackers, Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, a rookie, Charles Harris. Okay. Don't really have anybody, in terms of backups either. And then you get to the secondary, and this is a nice-ass bunch. Emmanuel Mosley, who just got activated, I guess, off the PUP list or something, so he'll be good. Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, Cameron Sutton, and CJ Gardner-Johnson. Not to mention, you got guys like Ifitu Melifonwu, Jerry Jacobs, and Brian Branch, and even Stephen Gilmore as backups. That's actually a very solid secondary. But then you look at the Chiefs' offense, and yeah, they're going to have their hands full. Of course, you got Pat Mahomes. You got running backs, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You would have had Travis Kelce, but I don't know if he's playing because of that hyperextended knee. That's tough. You look at their offensive line, of course, they went out and got some nice tackles. Donovan Smith, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Jawan Taylor. That's actually a nice bunch. I think the Chiefs offense is probably just going to put up hella numbers in this game, low-key. Look at the weapons they have, really. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, Rashee Rice, Richie James, and Justin Ross. Not a whole lot of big-time names at receiver. But Pat Mahomes, he's going to make it work. He's a freaking MVP candidate every year. That's why when I look at it, overall, I got to go with the Chiefs. They're at home. They got Pat Mahomes. And he'll make magic happen. I think that I'm not saying there'll be a blowout. I do indeed think the Lions will keep it very close. I think this game could be a final score within a touchdown. But I just cannot trust Jared Goff and that company right now in this environment. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs to start it off with a W. What's up, Karam? Yeah, no Kelsey. That's what it sounds like. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs. And of course, they're going to be on NBC, which most likely means Tirico and Collinsworth will be on the call. So, with that being said, let's get on with the Sunday games. Starting us off, Sunday afternoon, the 1 o'clock slate. We got Bryce Young and the Panthers up against the Falcons. So let's actually do this now. For some matchups, I might do this. I'm curious. What does the Panthers unit look like against the Falcons? Not going to do the analyzation thing for every game. Featured in a Bleacher Report trade article, having him traded to the Browns. If we get Cordero Patterson before the trade deadline, that would be one heck of an addition. Especially if it looks like Ford isn't getting it done right now. Right? I would love Cordero Patterson on the Browns. I just don't know if it happens. Keith Smith at fullback. You look at their tight ends. Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, Michael Pruitt. Good group. Up front, this is what kind of worries me. Jake Matthews. Okay, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry. Sounds like a good group, but we'll see how they do. Receivers, Drake London, Josh Ali, Mac Hollins, Kadarius Hodge, and Scotty Miller. Wow, that is a booty group of receivers. My goodness. And that group just seems so booty. It's literally Drake London and a bunch of mid. If they're lucky, it's mid. This is like Drake London's literally a receiver too on a lot of teams. Hollins, Hodge, Miller, and Ali, they're lucky to be receiver 4. How many? Where would these receivers be on the Browns? Drake London might be a receiver 2, maybe a 3, but Hollins, Hodge, Miller, and Ali, they'd be like receiver 5, receiver 4 on the Browns. And the Falcons got to rely on these guys for freaking Ritter? Are you serious? Not to mention, when you look at the Panthers' defense, now we'll see what happens with Brian Burns because I don't know if he's going to play. He's still holding out, I guess, because money maybe. I didn't really hear. But even without Burns, you got Derek Brown, who's a stud. Shy Tuttle, who's pretty good. Deshaun Williams, okay. Justin Houston, he's old, but he's still got some juice left, right? Yeah. You got Yetur Gross-Matos, okay. Camus Grugier-Hill, Frankie Louvu, Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns, that linebacker. Claudin Charles, okay, that's lovely. But their secondary, I like their secondary a lot. Horn, Bell, Xavier Woods, Dante Jackson, and Jeremy Chin. Not to mention behind them, Troy Hill, Deshaun Jameson, Sam Franklin Jr., and even Jamie Robinson, a guy that I wanted in the draft. And how about CJ Henderson? Are they going to get going? We'll have to wait and see. I think advantage would probably go to the Panther defense in that department. Yeah, I like their defense. I mean, he's a very good coordinator too in Ejiro Evero. I mean, the Bronco defense was carrying so hard last year. I can get him operating Frank Reich's defense. Okay. Now we look at the other side, the Panther offense and the Falcon defense. Up front, quarterback Bryce Young, of course, rookie with Andy Dalton backing him up. Running backs, very solid group. Miles Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear. Hey. Up front, protecting Bryce Young, Ikem Ekwonu, Brady Christensen, Bradley Bozeman. That's a very, very good player there. Chandler Zavala and Taylor Moton. That's a solid group to protect your rookie quarterback. And as far as weapons go, Chark Jr., solid piece. Mingo, stud. Thielen, he's a good vet. Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault, and Amir Smith-Marset, who they got in a trade with the Chiefs. I believe that was on the day of waiver claims. So, and it's one thing. They gave their rookie quarterback weapons. That's a big part of it, right? You don't want to give them weapons like what the Falcons have. The Falcons ain't got shit, bruh. At least the freaking Panthers went out and got weapons for their freaking quarterback. Sheesh. I was just reading their freaking reserves, their IR, but okay. Overall, yeah, give me the Panthers just by looking at that alone. But then we take a look at the betting odds. The Falcons are 3.5-point favorites. You know what? I'm going to go Panthers on the road. Yeah. My draft is 8:30 tomorrow or today. 8:30 p.m. People in the freaking comments were trying to, going back and forth about what time we want to do it. But it'll be at 8:30, so hope to see you there. But yeah, I'm going to go Panthers on the road to beat the Falcons. Yep, I got a good feeling about the Panthers. Now, in terms of who's calling the game, it will be, where is it at? Oh my God, where'd you go? Atlanta, yoo-hoo, where'd you go? Why can't I find you? My God. Oh, yeah, Chris Myers and Robert Smith. That's a good duo to do it, okay? Because a lot of it, most of the game is dictated by those guys. How much fun you're going to have watching the game. It's also, that's big. It's always good to have a good commentating crew because they keep the vibe going. So, yeah, Panthers, Falcons, give me the Panthers to get the job done. Let's move on. I'm going to probably do this for every game. This is fun. But yeah, let's now go to the next one. And speaking of rookie quarterbacks, we got the C.J. Stroud-led Houston Texans going up against Baltimore and their newly paid quarterback, Lamar Jackson. So, of course, we're going to compare Houston's offense with the Ravens' defense and then vice versa. So we're going to start off as soon as it pops up here. Well, while that's loading up, the betting odds for Houston and Baltimore, as you'd expect, Baltimore is a 10-point favorite. Looking at the Houston offense versus the Ravens defense. Of course, at quarterback, you got C.J. Stroud. Very, very good coming out of college. I watched every game of his, of course, being an Ohio State fan. I pretty much streamed almost every game. But you look at his weapons around him. Dameon Pierce, Devin Singletary at running back, Andrew Beck at fullback, because I guess fullbacks are cool now. Tight ends, you got Dalton Schultz. You have a couple others like Toriano and then Brevin Jordan, but it's mainly Dalton Schultz. Yeah. That was a big time get for them. Receivers, Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Noah Brown, Xavier Hutchinson, Tank Dell, and John Mechie III is back. So overall, not a booty group of receivers. It's not on the Falcons level of booty. It's a solid group. It's good for a rookie. You got a couple good veterans there, and Robert Woods and Nico Collins. Get John Mechie, who's solid. I want to see how he does coming off what he had to go through last year, injury and cancer. And then, of course, you got Tank Dell, who's a lightning rod. And then Noah Brown's also decent, too. And then up front, protecting your new investment. You have one of the best left tackles in the league, Laramie Tunsil, Kendrick Green, who they just traded for, Jarrett Patterson, Shaq Mason, and Titus Howard. Overall, pretty good group on offense for the Texans, especially with DeMeco Ryans at head coach. Now that group, of course, will be going up against a solid group. I gotta get this bug out of here. Damn moths flying around. But up front for the defense of the Ravens, yeah, a very good pass rush will be coming after poor CJ Stroud. You have Odafe Away, Broderick Washington, Michael Pierce, Justin Madubuike, and then you'll have Jadeveon Clowney, and then Roquan Smith. Because remember, they run a 3-4. So Odafe and Clowney will be coming off the edge. Not to mention, you got Brent Urban and David Ojabo coming up as well. Malik Harrison, Deshaun Phillips, Trenton Simpson, the rookie from Clemson. Yeah, their front seven is pretty mean, for real. If that Texans offensive line is not up to the task, they are going to get owned. In the secondary, of course, there will be no Marlon Humphrey for a couple weeks. So you'll have Rock Ya-Sin, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams, Ronald Darby, and then Arthur Maulet. So yeah, Ronald Darby now with the Ravens, in case you didn't know. I'm sure you know by now. But in case you didn't. Now, betting line for this game, again, 10 points favoring the Ravens. And I think in terms of Texans O versus Ravens D, Ravens D advantage big time. Now you flip the script here and you look at the Ravens offense against the Texans defense. And again, they're going to have their hands full in Houston because you got to deal with Lamar Jackson, of course. Then you got Dobbins and Edwards with Justice Hill at running back, Patrick Ricard at fullback. The offensive line is still solid. Ronnie Stanley, John Simpson, Tyler Linderbaum, Kevin Zeitler's still there, and Morgan Moses. And then you look at the receiving corps. Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Devin Duvernay, Nelson Aguilar, and Tylan Wallace. I mean, is it a bad receiving corps? No, it's certainly better than what they had. Not to mention, you got rid of Roman. Greg Roman's no longer there. Todd Monken is now the OC. And if we know Todd Monken, he loves to throw the ball. Now, what that means is a lot of turnovers if you're not careful. So maybe, we'll see if Lamar can take care of the ball. Against some good secondaries, he might struggle, especially if he has to sit in the pocket. Now, you look at the Texans' defense. And this is a nice group. Obviously, it's a nice group. I mean, your coach is a defensive coordinator. He's a defensive coach. So this is where they should cook in this game. Up front, you got Jonathan Grenard, Sheldon Rankins, Malik Collins. You got the rookie, Will Anderson. In terms of backups, you have Jerry Hughes, and you have Hassan Ridgeway up front. At linebackers, Christian Harris, Corey Littleton, Denzel Perryman with a little Neville Hewitt, and Henry Toto. Then you have Blake Cashman. Then you look at their secondary. Steven Nelson, Jimmy Ward, Jalen Petre, Derek Stingley Jr., and Tavier Thomas. In terms of backups, Kadar Hallman, MJ Stewart, Grayland Arnold, Eric Murray, Shaq Griffin. There's a lot of former Browns on that team. I see a lot of CLE next to their names, meaning that they got them from us, either via trade or free agency. Yeah, there's a lot of former Browns on that team. There was even more, but they got rid of a couple. Now, you look at that, you compare the two sides. Advantage Ravens. I like the defense for the Texans, but it might take a bit for them to really mesh under the new team and on new systems and everything. Kirk is also the DC for the Texans too. So I'm sure the Texans will be good, but overall, I got to go Ravens. Advantage Baltimore on both sides. Give me the Ravens to take down the Texans. Now, in terms of commentary, it'll be Spiro Dides and Adam Archuleta. What's up, Scott? Yeah, congratulations on winning the AL Central. Yeah, we're cooked at this point. We are cooked. What's up, Jordan? Now let's move on to the next game. That being our game, Bengals and Browns. So, Dashy, if you're watching this, listen up, buddy, because I'm about to educate you. If you watched my last live stream about an hour ago, I reacted to Dashy's latest little video that he did. This dude couldn't name like our whole roster, which I didn't expect, because he's not a ball knower, but okay, whatever. So we're going to compare our offense versus their defense and vice versa. But while that's loading up, the Browns are actually 2.5-point home underdogs. And in terms of the broadcast team, it'll be Ian Eagle and Charles Davis with Evan Washburn, of course. So starting off with my Browns offense versus the Bengals defense. Up front, you got Deshaun Watson at quarterback. We'll see how he does. First full off season where he can solely focus on football. He's not worrying about off the field crap. Of course, at running back, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Pierre Strong Jr., who I expect some decent stuff from this year. Up front, you got Jedrick Wills, Bitonio, Posick, Teller, and Conklin. Still together. That'll be good. Nice little camaraderie, No new faces yet. Although DeJuan Jones, Luke Whippler are ready to step in if necessary. Same with James Hudson. At receiver, you got Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman, who changed his number to 19, by the way, Marquise Goodwin, and David Bell. Very solid receiving core. And Deshaun going ball out with Amari and Elijah. We've already seen what we need to see from those guys already in the preseason. And I'm very excited for that group to really get going. It's going to be fun. Now you look at the Bengals defense that was going to try to stop them. Up front, Sam Hubbard, DJ Reader, BJ Hill, Trey Hendrickson. Overall, solid group, right? And I'm kind of worried about Jedrick Wills because he has a tendency to just straight up quit on plays. Like he'll give up. He'll attempt to block for like 3 seconds and then that's it. So hopefully, Deshaun knows what he's doing because I don't know if your left tackle is going to quit on you like midway through a play again. And he'll just stand there as the D end is just making his way towards the quarterback. He'll just stand there like, huh? And then he'll just sit there and watch. But yeah, up front, solid group up front. Linebackers, pretty much the same group as last year too. Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, they're back. They got extended too. Your secondary might be what would be the most concerning. Chidobe Awuzie is coming off injury. Dax Hill, Nick Scott, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Mike Hilton. It's mostly a new group. Jesse Bates is gone. Obviously, Von Bell's gone. They're going to still be trying to work things out, I'm sure. So, if there's a chance for our offense to really take advantage, it's this week. I could just imagine it now, guys. The TV camera shows Watson, does a little pump fake, and he just heaves it back and just throws it, and the camera's following the ball. And next thing you see is a wide open number 2, or even better, wide open number 8. Nobody around. Boy, if that happens, oh my God, my reaction's here like, oh my God, he's wide open. This is what it would be like, all right? Here's the snap. Deshaun, back to pass, looking, does a little pump fake. Oh, he throws it. And oh my God, he's wide open. Touchdown, Browns. Oh my God, where was the cornerback at? That's what my call would be to that. Hopefully we see it. That would be amazing. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think it'll be a brawl between our offense and their defense. But just because our offense has absolutely slaughtered their defense in past years, I mean, this defense got cooked by Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, I got to go Browns. Slight advantage on offense. Now let's flip the script and talk about their offense against our defense. So, of course, you have Joe Burrow coming off a hamstring injury during training camp. He's at quarterback. Sounds like he'll be good to go. Joe Mixon, Travion Williams, and Chris Evans at running back with a little bit of Chase Brown, possibly the rookie out of Illinois, I believe. Pretty sure it's Illinois. I don't really care. But yeah, tight ends, Irv Smith Jr. and Drew Sample are your two main tight ends. Up front, trying to keep our defense away from Joe Burrow. You have Orlando Brown Jr., Cordell Volson, Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, and Jonah Williams. Are they really going to try to trust Jonah Williams against Za'Darius Smith? And you know we can easily flip Miles on that side. I mean, Miles is going to turn Jonah into barbecue chicken. Again. I mean, it's really like playing roulette. You can't double them both. Za'Darius is like way better than Jadeveon. Way better. It's going to be a fun group to keep an eye on, though, for us. Now, if Joe Burrow has time in the pocket, he's got a pretty good receiving core to throw the ball to. You have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd up as their main receivers. Trenton Irwin, Andre Iosivas, and Charlie Jones as the backups. But like I said, is Joe going to have time to even get rid of the ball? Because like I said, number 95 is going hunting. Yeah, he going tiger hunting, boy. And he coming, boy. So yeah, I think their offense is nice, but you look at our defense with Jim Schwartz running things. Up front, very solid group. Myles Garrett, of course. He's a man amongst boys. He's like an alien. Myles Garrett, Za'Darius Smith coming off the edge. Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris in the middle with a little bit of Mo Hurst and his belly rubs. Yeah. Siaki Ika. Maybe we get something out of Jordan Elliott too. That'd be nice. And then Obo Okoronkwo, who, like I've mentioned before, was amongst the league leaders in pressures last year. So, to say the least, he could get to the quarterback. Linebackers, JOK, Anthony Walker, Sione Takitaki. Good group. Behind them, Tony Fields, Mohamed Diabate, and Matthew Adams, who's more or less a special teamer. Not very good. It's thin, that's for sure. But it is what it is, I guess. And then in the secondary, very good secondary. Martin Emerson, Grant Delpit, Juan Thornhill, Denzel Ward, and Greg Newsome. In terms of backups, you got Khalef Halassi, who we just claimed off of waivers. You have D'Anthony Bell, Rodney McLeod Jr., Ronnie Hickman, Mike Ford, and Cameron Mitchell. Overall, good group. Very good group right there. Skol Vikings, of course. I'll get to your Vikings in a second, of course. We are going on about 34 minutes. So, yeah. When it comes down to it, you already know who I'm picking here, guys. I'm picking the Browns. At home. We haven't lost to these losers in like 5 years at home. I think Jim Schwartz is going to have a very good game plan. We're going to try to just assault Joe Burrow, shut down the run game, make him pass. That's what you got to do. You do what you did to the Titans a couple years ago. You essentially force them to take Joe Mixon out of the game plan. You just score a crazy amount of points on them. You make them have to pass the ball, and you just tell your man-eaters up front, yo, pin your ears back and go hunting. Because you know Myles Garrett going to be like, all right, bet. And Za'Darius ain't no slouch either. But yeah, give me the Browns to take the dub. Not even being a homer. Give me the Browns. And like I said, Ian Eagle and Charles Davis will be on the call for this one. Moving on, we got the Jaguars and the Colts. And I'm not even really going to talk about these two groups because it's obviously going to be Jaguars. Like, real quick, let's just take a look at the Colts offense. So actually, let's just do that. I might just do this every week. Just go through. At least I'm going to do it this week because we're still getting to know the teams a little bit, you know? We're still getting to know the teams. So you look at the betting line for this game. Jags are 5.5 point favorites. Another thing to look at here is their history. And by the way, if Steven Rose and Max Sports are watching, I will put my picks down in the description below, so you don't have to watch this entire freaking stream. Because I'm going extremely in depth for week 1, being as we're still getting to know the teams. I'm not going to be doing the depth chart reviews every week. But Indy actually leads the overall series 27-17. Now, they've had some trouble as of late, as you can imagine, because the Jags have actually been pretty good. But yeah, the Jaguars actually have won 3 of the last 5 matchups, including a sweep. What is it? 2021. Yeah. No, this is the Jags. So the Jags have actually won 2 out of 3. 2 out of 5. Ouch. Yeah, I mixed it up. Wow. Jags have won 2 out of 5. Why did I think that the Colts won more matchups than that? Wow. I could have sworn the Jags have been owning the Indy for years, but no. Now, Indy is going to begin this like little rebuild. You know, they have their quarterback in Anthony Richardson. He's a solid quarterback. And I didn't see him much at Florida, but I heard he is a very good quarterback. So we'll see how he does with the bright lights on him. But you look at his weapons, yeah, he doesn't have much at all. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Isaiah McKenzie, and Josh Downs. They only have 4 receivers on the team. That's not helping your quarterback, especially Shane Steichen as your head coach. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. Overall, your coordinators seem nice. Jim Bob Cooter, Gus Bradley running the offense and defense. Okay, Brian Mason, your special teams coach. Okay, cool. But you have Anthony Richardson, his running backs, Zach Moss, Deion Jackson, and Evan Hall. Okay. Tight ends, Mo Alley-Cox, Kylan Granson, trash. Besides Mo Alley, of course. Offensive line looks like garbage for the most part, unfortunately. Bernard Ryman. Quentin Nelson's a stud. Ryan Kelly, well, he's good. Will Fries and Braden Smith. Imagine these guys going up against our D-line in a couple weeks. Yeah. It's going to be bad for A-Rich. That's going to be tough. And, of course, he's going up against Jacksonville. Now you look at their defense. Up front, nice group. They have Foloronzo Fedukasi, Jeremiah Ledbetter, Roy Robertson Harris. Then at linebackers, you got Josh Allen, Foyesade Oluokun, Devin Lloyd, Trayvon Walker. Possibly the quietest first-round pick maybe ever. I heard really nothing about him the entire offseason last year. Talk about living under the radar. Maybe that's a good thing. You know, not bad. You know, I mean, that's I guess what happens when you go to Jacksonville, low key. But hey, he did pretty good from what I heard. You know, didn't get into trouble or anything. That's good. Had a good season. But yeah, I like their front 7. Very good front 7. I think they're going to be living in the Indy backfield pretty much. They're going to be putting a lot of pressure on the rookie. And then you look at their secondary. Tyson Campbell, Rayshon Jenkins, Andre Cisco, Darius Williams, and Trey Herndon. Yo, not going to lie. That's a good secondary. Yeah. Not even capping at all. That's a good secondary. They're going to make it tough as hell for the rookie. I can already tell you. Now you flip the script and you look at Gus Bradley's defense. Yeah, I like their defense for sure. You have up front Samson Ebukam, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, and Kwity Paye. Backing them up, you have Taekwon Lewis, Taven Bryan, Deo Odeyingbo, And, Taekwon Lewis, yeah, Eric Johnson, cool stuff. Linebackers, Zaire Franklin, Shaq Leonard, and EJ Speed. Don't really have anything backing them up. But a solid starting linebacker core. And then your secondary. Boy, what is this? Juju Brents, Julian Blackman, Rodney Thomas, Dallas Flowers, and Kenny Moore. What is this garbage? Besides Kenny Moore and Julian Blackman. Garbage. Garbage. Sound like freaking Pac-Man Jones. Garbage. Bitch. Now you look at the Jaguars offense. Yeah, it could be a long day for them Colts defenders if they don't get pressure on old Trevor Lawrence there, eh? So Trevor Lawrence up front, of course, get quarterback, running the show. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, and Jermichael Hasty with my guy D'Ernest Johnson at running back. That's a nice running back room. Very nice running back room. Evan Ingram, Luke Farrell, Brenton Strange at tight end. Solid tight end core. You love to see it. Offensive line, Walker Little, Ben Barch, Luke Fortner, Brandon Scherf, big money guy, Anton Harrison. Yeah, it's solid offensive line, and your receiving core is definitely top tier, low key. Calvin Ridley, Elijah Cooks, okay, cool. Zay Jones and Christian Kirk, Tim Jones, Jamal Agnew, and Parker Washington. Very talented group. I like Calvin Ridley too, coming off the suspension. Oh yeah, this group is going to make barbecue chicken out of Indy if they're not careful. Betting odds for this game. Yeah, Jags 5.5 point favorites. The commentary crew calling this game, Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Overall advantage, Jacksonville on both sides of the ball. My pick, Jacksonville. Yeah. So give me the Jags. Moving on, we got the Buccaneers going to Minnesota to face the Skol Vikings. Of course, we know about the Buccaneers. They have a new quarterback again. His name is Baker Mayfield. We might have heard of him. And he's on his, fourth team in like 5 or so years now. He entered the league in 2018. He's been on the Browns. Yeah. Browns, Panthers, Rams, Bucks. It's funny. Ever since we got rid of him, he has not re-entered the AFC. Now, of course, the Vikings, they got Kirko Chains or Kirko Bangs or whatever the heck they call him now. But you look at the Tampa Bay offense. And, of course, Baker Mayfield leading the way. Running backs, Rachaad White, Chase Edmonds, Keyshawn Vaughn, Sean Tucker. Not a bad group. Up front, Tristan Wirfs, Matt Filer, Robert Hainsey, Cody Mock, and Luke Godecki. They did have Ryan Jensen, but unfortunately it sounds like he has to retire because of injury. That sucks, because he's really, really good. So, yeah. I would not be shocked if these guys came calling for Nick Harris at some point. I would not be shocked at all. But you look at their offense. Like, in terms of that, like their quarterback, offensive line. Their receiving core is nice, though. Can't even lie. And it's carried, as always, by 2 people. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Other than those 2, Raheem Jarrett, Trey Palmer, 2 rookies, and Devin Tompkins. Yeah. They're going to go as far as Evans and Godwin go. And I'm not even going to talk about the tight ends because they ain't got nothing at tight end. Cade Otton, Cole Kieft. Huh? Now, Minnesota on defense. We'll see what they put up. Up front, you have, they run 3-4. So you'll have the likes of Jordan Hicks with, it's Danielle Hunter and Marcus Davenport coming off the edge. Yeah, have fun with that one. Brian Asamoah, Jordan Hicks, actual linebacker. And then in the middle, you have Dean Lowry, former Packer, Khyiris Tonga, and Harrison Phillips. Yeah, this is in Minnesota, right? Let's see the freaking betting line. Yeah, Vikings by 6. They're gonna be blowing that Yaller horn thing all freaking day. My God, dude, that defense is nice though. I like their front. Their secondary is also not too bad either. You know, you have a Caleb Evans, Harrison Smith, Cameron Bynum, McKee Blackman, and Byron Murphy Jr. That Byron Murphy acquisition was nice though. Jay Ward, Najee Thompson, Lewis Sign, Josh Metellus, Andrew Booth Jr. backing them up. I like what they put in there on their defense. Brian Flores at DC. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, my guy, Kwesi was cooking. He's cooking. He was cooking this offseason. You love to see it. Now let's flip and let's talk about the Vikings offense against the Buccaneers defense. So, of course, Kirk Cousins running the show on offense. Alexander Mattison, no more Dalvin Cook, of course. It's Madison, Ty Chandler, and Myles Gaskin at running back. CJ Ham at fullback. Up front, Christian Darrisaw, Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and Brian O'Neill protecting Kirko. And then can't even speak. God. Receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, Jalen Naylor, and Brandon Powell. Yeah, I like their receiving core. Really nice receiving core. Now you look at the Buccaneers defense. Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea, Greg Gaines up front with Joe Tryon, Devin White, Levante David, and Shaq Barrett. Of course, Tryon and Barrett coming off the edge. Yo, their defense is nice up front. Not even gonna lie. Wow. Even the backups, William Golston, Mike Green, okay, Logan Hall, whatever. Yaya Diaby, KJ Britt, Servosi Dennis, who? Anthony Nelson, Zion McCollum. Who are these people? Damn. Just a bunch of who's? Except for William Golston. Yeah, he's been around forever. But you look at the secondary for the Bucs. Up front, in the secondary, you have a corner, Carlton Davis, Ryan Neal, Antoine Winfield Jr., Jamel Dean, and Dee Delaney. Other than Winfield Jr. and Carlton Davis, low-key, the secondary kind of ass, not gonna lie. Now, luckily for them, though, I mean, they are facing Kirk. They do have a nice-ass defensive line. But if they're just going to let Kirk Cousins cook in the backfield, I mean, they could get slaughtered, dude. JJ is going to be doing the gritty all freaking night or all day. I'm going to go with the Vikings to win this one, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go Minnesota to take down the Bucs. Broadcast crew for this game will indeed be, if I can find it here, where you at? Seriously, like, where to go? Where to go? I'm not even finding it. Am I tripping? Andrew Catalan and Tiki Barber with Matt Ryan. Wow. Matt Ryan on the call. That should be fun. Ooh. Ooh. All right. But yeah, give me Minnesota. I haven't done Steelers Niners yet. So, yeah, give me the Vikings. Moving on, we got the Titans and the Saints. I'm not going to dig deep into this one. I don't really care for this game too much. I'm probably going to roll with the Saints here. Betting line for this one is 3 favoring the Saints. And the broadcast crew in charge of doing this game see if I can find it again. This is always fun. Tennessee versus New Orleans. Okay, yeah, it'll be Chris Lewis, Jason McCourty, and Ross Tucker. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints to actually squeak one out here. All right, moving on. Now we got the Niners and the Steelers. I'm going to dig into this one. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So we're going to go road team being, I believe it is indeed the Niners. So we're going to go road team being the Niners. 49ers. Roaches, 49ers. Of course. So we go Steelers at home. There we are. Well, that loads up. Betting line is actually Niners favored by 2. Despite the fact that it sounds like Nick Bosa might not play because he's holding out, looking for the money. See what happens there. So you look at the Niners. We're going to start off with the Niner offense against the Steeler defense. Up front, Brock Purdy running the show at quarterback. Very good running back room. Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell. Those are the 2 main guys. Maybe we might see some Jordan Mason and Tyrion Davis-Price. Kyle Juszczyk at fullback. Up front protecting Brock Purdy from that relentless Steeler defense will be Trent Williams at left tackle, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Colton McKivitz. Honestly, I like the left side, but the right side might be a question. I like Trent Williams. Yeah, he's arguably the best left tackle in the league. Debate your mama. Yeah. It's going to be tough, though, facing TJ Watt and company and Highsmith. Ugh. Now, in terms of weapons, at receiver, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Jawan Jennings, Ronnie Bell, and Ray McLeod, who I believe is hurt. So they might call up a receiver from the practice squad. Who do they have in terms of practice squad receivers? Willie Snead. Oh, yeah, he's there. Okay. Isaiah Winstead, Chris Conley, and then you also have Tay Martin, too. So we'll see if they call up any of those guys for Ray, who's, I believe, out. So overall, I like the offense for the Niners. Offensive line might be a question mark, though. And we'll see how Brock Purdy does. Now, going up against that unit, of course, will be the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And up front, as always, you have Terrell Austin at defensive coordinator. Up front, gnarly, nasty-ass group of guys. TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith coming off the edge. Of course, they run a 3-4. And then in the middle, Larry Ogunjobi, who's almost done with his tour de AFC North. All he has to do is go to Baltimore, and there you go. But yeah, you have Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton, the rookie, Cameron Hayward. Backing them up, you have DeMarvin Leal, Montravius Adams, Isaiah Loudermilk. I always got to do that when I say that name. And just, yeah. Armand Watts. At linebacker, Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, who's been a stud in training camp and preseason from what I've seen and heard. That's what happens when you live around Pittsburgh. You hear a lot about him. Marcus Golden, Juan Alexander, Mark Robinson, backup linebackers, Nick Herbig, brother of Nate, who I believe is also on the Steelers as well. Right? No. I thought he was. Yeah, he is. Okay, I was going to say, I thought he was. And then you look at the secondary. It'll be interesting to see how this group does this year. Levi Wallace, DeMonte KZ, Minka Fitzpatrick, Patrick Peterson, and Chandon Sullivan. Desmond King, Joey Porter Jr., Miles Killebrew, Keanu Neal, James Pierre, backing those guys up. Good, deep, young secondary with, of course, the veteran and Patrick Peterson. Very solid group. They're going to be a handful for the Niners, that's for sure. But then you flip the script and you look at the other side of the ball. Niner defense up front, of course, with no Nick Bosa, as he is currently looking for the money. So without him, you have Drake Jackson, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, who got that bag. I thought we were going to get him, but then he wound up going to San Francisco, of course, because we didn't want to give him a bigger bag than what he got from San Francisco. That would have been gnarly, but of course we have Dalvin Thomas, so we got a good consolation prize. And then you have Clelin Ferrell. Okay. Kerry Hyder Jr., Kevin Givens, Javon Kinlaw, who's looking to still make a name for himself, and Austin Bryant backing them up. At linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, Fred Warner, who is arguably one of, if not one of, he's one of the best linebackers in the league for sure. Always making plays. Oren Burks as well. Jalen Graham, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles. What a name, backing him up. That's a long name. Imagine having to make that jersey. My God. D. Winters as well at linebacker. And then you got the secondary, which is a very good unit. Travarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, Deshaun Gibson still cooking after all those years. Former Brown, of course. Demador Lenoir and Isaiah Oliver. Backing them up, not the greatest group of backups. Ambry Thomas, George Odom, Jair Brown from Penn State, and Samuel Womack III. Now, you look at the Steeler offense. Of course, you have Small Hands Kenny at quarterback. Running backs, you have Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and Anthony McFarland. Good group. Connor Hayward at fullback. As far as I'm concerned, he's still there. I think he is, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of the other Watt brother. That's right. Duh. Up front, you have Dan Moore, although Broderick Jones is probably going to be starting instead of Dan Moore. Isaac Somalo, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and Chukwuma Okorafor. Although most likely Nate Herbig's going to start at right guard. I'd have to think. Now at receiver, this is a nice unit. Not even going to hate. Up front, the main unit, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, and Allen Robinson II, who they got in a trade. Behind them, Miles Boykin, Calvin Austin III, who's finally going to get on the field, and Gunnar Olszewski. Tight ends, of course, you have Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. So very good unit on offense. I think the Niners defense and the Steelers offense, that's almost like a draw, because they're both very good. But the key is the Niners offense against that Steeler defense. And I think the slight advantage goes to the home team slightly. I'm going to go with the Steelers to edge one out at home. And I think it's going to come down to that quarterback of the Niners, Brock Purdy. Can he make a play to help them win the game? And in my opinion, I just don't think so. I can't trust him right now. Let's see, though. He looked good last year. But let's see what he can do now that teams have had a full offseason to prepare for him. Granted, he did play pretty much the entire season last year after Trey Lance got hurt. So, yeah. I think he'll have a good year, but I think TJ Watt and company are going to get after him. And we'll see what happens with Nick Bosa. If Bosa plays, that might change everything. That's how big of an impact he will have in this game if he plays. But I got to go Steelers at home. Not to mention that travel is going to be a big one too. Going from one coast of the United States to the other, that takes a toll on you. Jet lag is real. So, betting odds for this one, of course, if I can find them. 2 points favoring the Niners, believe it or not. But I'm going to go with the Steelers to somehow, some way edge it out, because they always do. It's the way that team is. And in terms of the broadcast crew on the call, Joe Davis and Daryl Johnston. Wow, nice. That's a nice commentary crew for that one. All right, moving on to, my God, Cardinals and Commanders. Commanders. There. That's my pick. Cardinals are going to stink. What's the freaking betting line for this game? Do they even have one? They do. Commanders are 7-point favorites. You know what? Just for lulz, I want to see what this freaking... I'm not even going to do it. No. I'm not going to do it. The Cardinals are ass. They're trash. I'm not even going to look at their team. It doesn't even matter. Give me the Commanders to get the dub week 1. It's the easiest pick of the week. Commanders. There. All set. In terms of the broadcast crew, Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. Wow. Great pick. Yeah, I'm going to go Commanders. Next, we got the Packers and the Bears. And of course, I'm going to dig deep into this one because this, of course, is a big rivalry. First game without Aaron Rodgers since before 2004 at quarterback. Well, I guess when Brett Favre left, but he's not even on the roster anymore. First time since 2004 that he's not even on the roster anymore. That's freaking nuts. Now, before I get into the roster comparison, the betting line for this game is Bears by 1. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this should be a slugfest. I'm excited for this one. Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson on the call for this one. And by the way, this is the start of the 425 slate of games. So you look at the Packers offense. Of course, Jordan Love at quarterback now. Guarding, protecting him, David Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, John Runyon, and Zach Tom. Overall, not a bad group. I like Bakhtiari. Myers seems solid. Runyon, and I don't know about Tom. But yeah, I like David Bakhtiari. Jordan Love's got one hell of a dude blocking his blind side. Big time. Now, running backs, you have Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, and Emmanuel Wilson. Mainly Aaron Jones. I expect a big year out of him this year. Tight ends, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft. Those are the two big guys. Receivers, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs or whatever, yeah. Malik Heath and Dontavian Wicks. With Samori Toure and Jaden Reed, who's a speedster. So overall, not a very impressive offensive unit. It's not trash. Definitely not the worst. But it's mainly Aaron Jones and Christian Watson for me. Now you look at the Bears defense. Up front, DeMarcus Walker, Andrew Billings, who's over there now. Never did work out with us, unfortunately. Justin Jones and Yannick Ngakoue. How about that, huh? Yannick Ngakoue, in case you forgot. He's over with the Bears now. TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, who they brought both in free agency. Big money signings there. Jalen Johnson, Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, Tyreek Stevenson, and Kyler Gordon in the secondary. I like that secondary. I like it a lot. Linebacker, they even got Noah Sewell. Nice. But I like their front as well. Zach Pickens, Gervon Dexter Sr., Khalid Kareem. Yeah, Bears defense over the Packers offense every day of the week. I love their defensive line. Now we flip the script. We look at the defense for the Packers. Up front, Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, Devontae Wyatt. And then you have at linebacker / pass rusher, Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Devondre Campbell. Nice front unit for the Packers. And then secondary, very good unit again, of course. Jair Alexander, hopefully he can stay healthy. Rudy Ford, Darnell Savage, Rasul Douglas, and Keyshawn Nixon. And then you look at the Bears offense. Of course, you have Justin Fields at quarterback, running backs, Khalil Herbert, Dante Foreman, Rashawn Johnson, maybe some Travis Homer as well. Kari Blasingame at fullback, protecting Justin Fields, Braxton Jones. Wow. Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick, Nate Davis, and Darnell White. Right. Now, you may be like, wait, didn't they have some studs on the offensive line? Well, technically, yes. But unfortunately, Tevin Jenkins got hurt. Yeah. And I think another one actually got hurt too. Yeah, that's a tough one though. Might have been right, but yeah. Tevin Jenkins got hurt. That's tough. But still a solid unit. Then you look at the receivers, and this is a good unit if they can all get going. DJ Moore, Velus Jones Jr., Chase Claypool, who's still trying to prove himself, right? Donnell Mooney. Then you have EQ St. Brown, Tyler Scott, and Trent Taylor. Solid receiving core. But I think in terms of Bear offense versus Packer defense, I got to go Packer defense. I like that unit a lot. I really do, especially that secondary. But that front will make life hell for Justin Fields if his offensive line can't protect him. So overall, when it comes to this game, I'm going to go with the Bears to squeak one out. Give me the Bears to pull it out. And again, Burkhardt and Olsen will be on the call for this one. Moving on, we got the Raiders and the Broncos. Not going to get too deep into this one because the Broncos receivers are all pretty much injured and the Raiders are mid. Josh Jacobs is back, though, which is nice. But other than that, they're essentially mid. They got Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. They lost Darren Waller. Do I even need... I want to look at their roster. I'm not going to compare it. I just want to see what they have. Because we know that, Russell Wilson's going to be on some revenge tour thing. But you look at their offensive unit for the Raiders. It's Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow. Good receiving core up front, in terms of main guys. Josh Jacobs, of course, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah. It's actually a nice running back room, too. Offensive line, Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James, Greg Van Roten, and Jermaine Illuminor. Oh my God, they got Austin Hooper at freaking tight end. Mr. I can't stay on my own 2 feet after I catch a ball. Wow. Michael Mayer, though, that's a nice pickup in the draft. They got Thayer Munford, too. Wow. Overall, yeah, I'm going to go Broncos at home. Give me the Donkeys to take care of the Raiders. Money line for this game, for those also wondering, is, if I can find it. Let's see here. Where is it at? Oh, 3.5 favoring the Broncos. And calling this game will be Tom McCarthy, James Lofton, and Jay Feely. I got my Steelers winning if Nick Bosa isn't playing. What's up, Kid Wilson? Not going to be live too much longer. I'm going to get through the rest of these games, and then I'm heading out. So, next we have Dolphins and Chargers. Now, this is a game I'm going to dig into. Miami Dolphins, very, very hyped up team this year, as they seem to be almost every year now. Chargers, of course, coming off one of the biggest choke jobs I've ever seen. I called the game with my guy Walk Off Sports Talk, JB Taylor, on his channel. It was a banger. And Chargers blew a 27-0 lead. That's tough. But anyways, we look at the Dolphins, and we look at this betting line for this game. And Chargers are favored by 3, which is standard for home teams. Starting off with the Dolphins offense, you have, of course, Tua, Mr. Mushbrain at quarterback, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, whatever, Salvan Ahmed, and Chris Brooks at running back, Alec Ingold, who just got paid at fullback. Your receiving core is really nice, though. It's damn near, one of the best receiving cores, just because you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. One of the best duos in the league in terms of receivers. River Craycraft, Cedric Wilson Jr., Eric Azukama, Braxton Berrios. Very shifty unit. Not a lot of size, but they're fast. They rely on speed. And you look at your offensive line. Teron Armstead, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, and Austin Jackson. Although from what I've heard, Kendall Lamb might actually start at times too. Interesting. Now, going up against the Charger defense, which on paper looks nice, though. Of course, attacking the quarterback from the edge, you'll have Bosa and Khalil Mack, with Eric Kendricks and Kenneth Murray in the middle at linebacker as well. And then on the middle D line, Austin Johnson, Sebastian Joseph Day, and Morgan Fox. So, yeah, very good up front. That's a common theme. Secondary looks, all right, looks solid. J.C. Jackson, Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, Michael Davis, okay, and then Asante Samuel Jr., who, remember, had that monster game in the playoffs against the Jags, and they still lost. Damn. And, of course, they got Dicker, the kicker. I think advantage in that department probably goes towards. I'm going to go Dolphins by a little bit in terms of advantage between those two. We flip and we talk about the Charger offense against the Dolphin defense. Up front for the Dolphins, Zach Seiler, Raekwon Davis, and Christian Wilkins, with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb coming off the edge. Jerome Baker and David Long Jr. at middle linebacker. Yeah, I like their front unit too. Man, both of these teams have some really good front units. Not going to lie there. And then in the secondary, Brandon Jones, Javon Holland at safety. You have Xavier Howard, Eli Apple, Kader Kuhu at corner. Backing them up, you got Cam Smith, Deshaun Elliott, Elijah Campbell, Justin Bethel, Kelvin Joseph, who they traded Noah Igbahogany for, and Verone McKinley with Perry Nickerson as well. So, solid safety unit for the Dolphins, too. Now, as for the Charger offense, of course, you have Justin Herbert calling the plays, Austin Eckler at running back, with Josh Kelly and Isaiah Spiller, with maybe some Elijah Dotson as well at running back. Protecting Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, Corey Linsley, Jamari Salyer, and Trey Pipkins. Very good offensive line. And your receivers is all right. It's good. Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, Darius Davis, and Joshua Palmer. The key is, of course, can Mike Williams and Keenan Allen actually stay healthy for a full season? They've had trouble, but you got Quentin Johnston, who's a big playmaker. That's a very good pick by the Chargers there. Tight ends, you have Gerald Everett, Donald Parham, Trey McKitty, Stone Smart, whatever. So, yeah, I think overall, on terms of units, I'm going to go Dolphins advantage. But when they get on the field, I trust the Chargers to get the job done on the field. I'm going to go the Chargers to get a victory and start the season 1-0. And calling this game will be Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. So I know they're going to have a blast, as Kevin Harlan always has a blast when he calls games. He makes games so much fun to listen to. So, yeah, again, betting line for this game and is, if I can find it, it's always fun trying to find the betting line. Is it even in here? I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. Wow. They must have taken it off. Oh, no, here it is. It's 3 points favoring the Chargers. Okay. 3 points for the Chargers. All right, next we got the Eagles and the Patriots. And, yeah, this is going to be a matchup I have to dig into. I have to dig into this one. All right, so Eagles versus Patriots. All right. Now, for those, we're about an hour 16 in. Now, after this one, don't worry, people. We only have 3 more games to go. So don't worry. Hold on. Hold your horses. We'll be done here soon. So you look at the Eagles defense versus the Patriots offense. Up front for the Eagles, you have Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. They've been there forever. Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, coming off the edge as well. You know, or Sweat and Graham coming off the edge. Cox and Davis in the middle. Giggity. Jalen Carter, Derek Barnett, who I guess wants a trade. We'll see how that goes. Milton Williams. Overall, not a deep group, but yeah. Very nice front unit for the Eagles there. Linebackers, of course, Zach Cunningham, Nakobe Dean, Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, Christian Ellis are the main guys there. And then the secondary. Very good secondary. Yeah, Super Bowl winning secondary, low-key. Darius Slay, Terrell Edmonds, Reed Blankenship, James Bradbury, and Avonte Maddox. Backing them up, Josh Jobe, Sidney Brown, Justin Evans, Kaylee Ringo, and Mario Goodrich with Eli Ricks. And of course, they have a new D coordinator this year, and Sean Desai, as well as Brian Johnson as their offensive coordinator too. Michael Clay is their special teams coordinators, in case you guys were really wondering. Crazy Dog, why don't you talk about special teams? Because does it really matter at this point? By the way, the Eagles don't have a punter. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't say they have a punter right here. You need a punter, unless you're going to go for it on 4th down every time. It's a bold strategy if that's the case. But you look at the Eagles' defense against the Patriots' offense. Mac Jones at quarterback with Matt Corral backing him up. Interesting there. I like their skill positions, though. Ramondre Stevenson and Zeke at running back. That'll be fun. At tight end, Hunter Renfro. Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki, and Pharaoh Brown. At receiver, Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Matthew Slater, Keyshawn Booty, and Demario Douglas. So I've noticed it's a very young group, but they've also got some good players. Juju as well. Can't forget about old Juju. You know, Corvette. Of course. Devontae Parker is really nice, though. Yeah. Up front, protecting Mac Jones, Trent Brown, Cole Strange, David Andrews, who's been there forever, it seems like. Funny enough, he's got Jake Andrews backing him up. Mike Onwenu, and then Calvin Anderson. Now, they might go Tyrone Wheatley, too, because they acquired him from us for Pierre Strong. And then, of course, they also traded for Vidarian Lowe, same day, from Minnesota for the offensive line. I think Eagles get the advantage on defense. And then you look at the Eagles' offense against the Patriot defense. Up front for New England, attacking Jalen Hurts will be Matthew Judon and I'm guessing Jelani Tavai? Huh. Okay. Jawan Bentley at middle linebacker with Mac Wilson, who's still there, remember. In terms of main defensive line, Dietrich Wise, Devon Gaucho, Lawrence Guy Sr. Yeah, behind them, they don't really have much there. I mean, Christian Barmore, Josh Uche. Okay, cool. Daniel Akwale. Yeah, their D-line is nice, but not very deep. Their secondary seems solid, though. Christian Gonzalez, Kyle Duggar, Adrian Phillips, Jack Jones, and Jonathan Jones. They also have Marcus Jones, too. And then Sean Wade, Jalen Mills, Jabril Peppers, backing them up. Yeah, their secondary is nice and deep, but, like, overall talent, I think they're going to get exposed by the Eagles' offense. Now, you look at the Eagles' offense. Of course, Jalen Hurts leading the way. DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad Penny, Boston Scott. How funny. A guy named Boston playing in Boston. Ha, that's great. Love it. Watch him go off in this game because why not? So, yeah, I like their linebackers. Not the linebackers. Their running backs. And the linebackers, too. But I like the running back unit. I think DeAndre Swift is going to eat this year behind that O-line. Speaking of O-line, you got Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, of course, Cam Jurgens, and Lane Johnson protecting Jalen Hurts. And at receiver, of course, you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, with Zacchaeus and Quez Watkins. They only have 4 receivers. Huh. Interesting. Again. Now you look at receivers that they could call up from the practice squad. They have Joseph Nada, Brenton Covey, and Greg Ward, and Devin Allen. Huh. So other than Smith and Brown, not a great group at receiver. But again, Brown and Smith are just so good, they could just do it themselves. And at tight end, you have Dallas Goedert with Jack Stoll, Grant Calcaterra, and Albert Okwuegbunam. Okay, then. But yeah, advantage goes Eagles on both sides, I think. Yeah. But what about coaching? Oh, coaching goes Bill Belichick. But coaching can definitely get you far, but the players have to execute. And I like the Eagles roster overall. So give me Philadelphia to get the W on the road, as their fans will continue to troll Patriots fans about the Super Bowl and stuff. But yeah, Eagles are favored by 3.5. Give me the Birds to take down the Patriots on the road. And in terms of who's calling this game, of course, it'll be Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on CBS. Probably not going to really watch this game because, of course, the whole situation with Nexstar and CBS and DirecTV. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to at least maybe watch this game, but we'll see. All right. So yeah, give me the Eagles on the road. Moving on, we got the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm going to make this quick, guys. I'm going to go with the Seahawks to take it at home. They got Geno Smith. They got JSN. Very solid offense. The defense seems all right, too. Yeah, they got a nice secondary. But yeah, I'm going to go Seahawks to squeak it out at home over the Rams. Now let's get to one of the main events of this video. 8:20 p.m. Sunday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. You already know we digging deep into this one. Oh yeah, we are digging. Look at Dallas. We're going to start off with the playmakers on offense for Dallas. Of course, you got Dak Prescott at quarterback. We'll see how they do with Brian Schottenheimer at OC. Yeah, no more Kellen Moore. It's going to be weird. We'll see if anything changes immediately. I'm sure there will be some changes. We'll notice it immediately based off of how they play. But yeah, Dak Prescott at quarterback. You have Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdell, Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Lepke at running back. Mainly it's going to be Tony Pollard and probably some Deuce Vaughn too. At tight end, Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, and Peyton Hendershot. Offensive line, notoriously one of the best in the league. Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Terrence Steele, who just got the bag a couple of days ago. So, a couple of Tylers in there. That's nice. Tyron and Tylers. Okay. Solid freaking offensive line. Always been one of the better units in the league. And then you look at the receiving core. Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, and KaVontae Turpin. Yep. Good receiving core. Very good receiving core. Now, let's see who they're facing on the Giants defense. Up front, again, 3-4 defense, which means Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau will be coming off the edge. Micah McFadden and Bobby Okereke at middle linebacker. Isaiah Simmons, Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, Boogie Basham, who they acquired before waiver claims, Jihad Ward, who, as you know, got into it with Aaron Rodgers during Hard Knocks, of course. Up front, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, not Dexter Williams. That's a running back. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Ashawn Robinson, with DJ Davidson, Rakeem Nunez Roches, and Jordan Riley. So, yeah, their starting unit in terms of their front seven is really nice, but their depth is kind of sus. I like Isaiah Simmons, though. Of course, I really wanted us to trade for him at some point, but that didn't happen, obviously, for a 7th-round pick, too. Wow. Now, the secondary, they're going to have trouble with the Cowboys receivers, especially if they decide to utilize running backs out of the backfield in the passing game, like Tony Pollard. You have Trey Hawkins, Jason Pinnock, Xavier McKinney, Deonte Banks, and Adoree Jackson. Darnay Holmes, Dane Belton, Nick McLeod, Cordell Flott, Bobby McCain, Gervarius Owens. What kind of unit is this? Like, my God. Oh, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of the meme, the horse meme, where it's like a drawing of a horse. And at one end, it's very well detailed, looks professionally drawn. And at the end, it looks like a 2-year-old drew it. That's the Giants defense. The front 7 is the part of the horse that was professionally drawn, very detailed, and the secondary looks like a 2-year-old drew it. Like, you expect that secondary to guard CeeDee Lamb? Really? Brandon Cooks? Michael Gallup? Really? You better hope and pray that your defensive line can get to Dak. Because I feel like CeeDee Lamb going to be cooking a lot. He's going to be eating some of that barbecue chicken. He's going to be eating some barbecue. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the Giants secondary is trash. I just don't like the matchup against the freaking Cowboys receivers. But we'll see if that D-line and that front 7 for the Giants can get to Dak and really rough him up a bit. You know, maybe force some mistakes. Now you flip the page and you look at the Dallas defense against the Giants offense. Up front, of course, you're going to have Micah Parsons and I'm guessing Damone Clark or Leighton Vander Esch coming off the edge. Most likely it'd be Clark and maybe Parsons coming off the edge, according to our lads, of course. That could change. DeMarcus Lawrence, Mazi Smith, and Osa Odighizuwa. Also, I'm guessing it'll be Lawrence. Oh, I see what it is. Okay. It's Lawrence and Parsons coming off the edge with Mazi Smith and Osa Odighizuwa in the middle. Sam Williams, Jonathan Hankins, Viliami Fehoko, Neville Gallimore, Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler. Man, that's a deep unit up front. Very deep. Very good, too. Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark, Stefan. Oh, yeah, that's linebacker, yeah. Vander Esch and Clark at linebacker. And then the secondary. Stephon Gilmore with Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Trayvon Diggs, and Jordan Lewis, who I heard is going to be playing in this game. And then, of course, you got Noah Igbinoghene, Deron Bland, Jaron Kearse, Israel Mukuamu, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Yeah, I love the Cowboy defense. That's a solid-ass unit. And, of course, you got Dan Quinn calling the plays on defense. So he's going to have something nice for Daniel Jones. I know he will. And speaking of Daniel Jones, oh, boy, this offense. Sheesh. Wow. Daniel Jones calling the shots on offense at quarterback. Running backs, it's going to be Barkley, Breida, Brightwell, and Gray, of course. We'll see how Barkley does, essentially in another contract year for the most part. Up front, trying to keep D-Law and Micah Parsons away from Daniel Jones. You have Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal at tackle. Mark Glowinski and Ben Bredesen at left guard. John Michael Schmitz at center. In terms of, receivers, Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Jalen Hyatt, Sterling Shepard, and Wan'Dale Robinson. Overall, solid offensive unit. Of course, Darren Waller at tight end. Good guy there, good pickup. Daniel Bellinger and Lawrence Cager as well. Overall, Our offense is nice. But my question mark is the quarterback, Daniel Jones. Oh, you're a hater. No. I just want to see if he can build off of last year. Because he did pretty good last year with an actual, system and everything. Like, a guy who knows what he's doing at freaking coach. Not Joe Judge. All right? I still remember way back when the Giants hired Joe Judge. My guy Entertainer, he's my dude, I guess, Don't really see him around the community much, like in terms of sports series streams. He's doing his own thing, whatever. He made a freaking video trashing us because Matt Rule told us no. Yeah, he made a video because, of course, he really wanted Matt Rule, which I understand. Okay. But then, Matt Rule told us no. And this dude, made a video essentially trashing us and low-key, throwing shade at the city and everything. And it's funny because Matt Rule went to Carolina. Yeah, okay. They got Joe Judge. They were hyping him up like crazy. And then what happened when we played them that year? Oh, Kevin Stefanski kicked their ass in their house. People hate Kevin Stefanski. Well, they don't hate. They just question him because he gets very conservative at times. But I'll tell you one thing. When we're winning, he has a pretty good game plan. He usually cooks really well. Yeah. Yeah, he can cook, that coach. I like Kevin Stefanski. He's definitely better than what we used to have. That's for damn sure. Crazy Dog throwing random shots at the Giants. No, I'm just saying. I remember way back when they hired, Joe Judge. He had that fan base fooled. Kind of like Freddie Kitchens with us. It is what it is. We both recovered really well from those two horrendous hires. That's for sure. But, I like the Giants offense, but the Cowboys defense just looks like a bunch of dogs, man. Give me the Cowboys to squeak it out by at least a touchdown or so. Betting lines, believe it or not, for this game, Dallas favored by 3.5 on the road. And calling this game, of course, will be the usual guys for Sunday night. Tirico and Collinsworth, I believe. So that'll be a banger. You already know. And then to wrap it all up, we're staying in New Jersey at Meadowlands. So I feel bad for that freaking grounds crew at MetLife because literally right after that Giants game ends, they got to shoo people away and they got to get to work, get in the stadium ready for the Jets the very next night when they host the Buffalo Bills. Now, I don't think I've seen much change in a year-to-year basis as I've seen from the Jets this past season. Because they brought in Aaron Rodgers, of course, via trade, and it seemed like they just assembled this super team around him. I mean, look at the freaking offensive line. Very good offensive line. Dwayne Brown, Laken Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Mekhi Becton. Very good offensive line. Running backs, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Michael Carter, Israel Abanikanda. That's an amazing running back room. Nick Bawden at fullback. Okay, cool. Tight ends, Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzama, Jeremy Ruckert. Great tight end room. Receiving core, Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Irvin Charles, Jason Brownlee, Randall Cobb, Xavier Gipson. Yeah, it's a tad top heavy, but it's a very good receiving core. Overall, Joe Douglas went out there. He put his, freaking chef hat on. He put his little apron on. And this dude cooked up a masterpiece for Jets fans. Straight up. It's a masterpiece. I mean, look at it. It's freaking one of the better rosters in the league, I think. Now, we'll see how they do. And now, keep in mind, Jets fans, the clock is ticking because you only have at least a couple years of Aaron Rodgers at an elite level. He's not no spring chicken. No, he ain't young. You probably got 2 or 3 years at best of elite Aaron Rodgers. You know that wall called Father Time, it's coming up quick. Like it's starting to rise over the horizon. You know, like in those cartoons when they show a guy driving and the roads, like, you got the horizon, and all of a sudden you see over the horizon it comes this big old wall or whatever. Well, that's Aaron Rodgers. The wall is quickly starting to rise over the horizon. So you don't have all this time. Your clock is ticking. Your window's open. I think once Aaron Rodgers retires or leaves, Zach Wilson's going to have a pretty good team around him. So, and he'll have learned from one of the best. So that's good. But I think the Bills are going to have a little something for you, though. You look at the Bills' defense, of course, up front. Again, they run looks like a 4-3, I believe. Leonard Floyd, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, and Greg Rousseau. Ooh. Shaq Lawson, Tim Settle, Jordan Phillips, AJ Epinesa, Kingsley Jonathan, Poona Ford. Where's Von Miller? He's injured. He's on the PUP list, I believe, so he won't miss this. He will miss this game. He'll be back soon, though. Don't fret. Jets fans, oh yeah, we escaped him. No, you didn't. You'll see him at some point this year, I'm sure. So yeah, you didn't just avoid Von Miller. He'll be back. Trust me. But you look at their linebackers, Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, Tyrell Dodson, Dorian Williams. All right, cool. Matakevich is even there. Wow. Okay. Secondary, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Kyer Elam, Teron Johnson. Solid unit. Very solid unit. But they're going to have their hands full with Aaron Rodgers because that dude could pick you apart with his mind. Yeah. I've seen that dude torch defenses in his career. So I'm sure the Bills are going to have a good game plan. And we'll see what happens. Now on the flip side, the Jets got an even better defense. Up front, you got the likes of Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, Al Woods, John Franklin Myers. Very, very good front unit. What's up, future? And then, you got John Franklin Myers, Michael Clemens, Solomon Thomas, Quentin Jefferson, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Bryce Huff. Very deep unit up front. They could send wave after wave of pass rushers after you and keep their guys fresh, which is always important. Very important stuff there. Now, at linebacker, Jamian Sherwood, C.J. Mosley, Zaire Barnes, Chaz Surratt, Quincy Williams. Good unit, but I love their secondary. Sauce Gardner, Bryce Hall, Jordan Whitehead, Tony Adams, DJ Reed, Michael Carter II. No relation to the Michael Carter, the running back. Adrian Amos, Justin Hardy. Okay, yeah. Very good unit there, too. Now, I think when it's all said and done, you look at the Bills offense, this is going to be a very, very, very good unit. Because you look at up front, Dion Dawkins, Connor McGovern. Kind of funny how both teams have a Connor McGovern. I just realized that. Oh my God. Yo, both teams have a Connor McGovern up front. Yo, imagine after the game, when the teams are shaking hands, saying good game. You go, Connor McGovern? This is Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern? Connor McGovern. I know. This would be a great time for one of those Spider-Man memes. Yeah. Connor McGovern, meet Connor McGovern. Connor McGovern, Connor McGovern. That would be so weird. Oh, man, that would be so weird. But that's just the lovely thing about it. But yeah, McGovern, Morse, Osiris Torrance, and Spencer Brown protecting Josh Allen. At running back, James Cook, Damian Harris, and Latavius Murray. Fun fact, someone actually tried to say, what was it? Was it a Damian Harris or something that no, it wasn't Damian Harris, was it? Someone tried to make a fake rumor that said one of the running back passed away. I think it was the former Rams running back, right? Or something like that. I thought, oh well, whatever. But yeah, Damian Harris with James Cook, Reggie Gilliam at fullback. Receivers, of course, Stephon Diggs, Trent Sherfield, Gabe Davis, Khalil Shakir, and Deontay Hardy. Solid group. Solid group. But I think the key is, of course, Josh Allen. Can Josh Allen do his thing and lead the Bills to victory? Overall, the betting odds for this game favor the Bills, 2.5. And calling the game, of course, will be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on ESPN/ABC. And overall, I'm going to go with the Jets to pull it off. I think Aaron Rodgers just does just enough to help them get that victory. And they start off 1-0 on the season. So again, just a refresher for anyone who's been watching for the entire near 2 hours. I promise it will not be this long next week. I just wanted to do a little get to know you with each team. So anyways, I feel like I've been doing this for 3 hours, not going to lie. So anyways, a little refresher. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Falcons. Barely. No. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. My God. Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs, Panthers, Ravens, Browns. I'm going to roll with the Jags, the Vikings, Saints, Steelers, Commanders, Bears. I'm going to roll Broncos, Chargers at home, Eagles, Seahawks, Cowboys, and Jets. Yeah, give me the Jets at home. So there you go, guys. Those are my picks. And after nearly 2 hours, I am finally done. Again, my next one next week will not be this long. I'm not going to go too deep into every freaking thing because that's just a lot, man. My God. I did not realize it'd take that long. But yeah, next week should be fun. We'll see what happens. But with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog, and shout out to everyone who came through. Again, this is the prize right here. Jets fans are so annoying. They bring us down to hype themselves up. Yep, as always. So, yeah, this is the main prize. We'll see who ends up in Vegas at the Super Bowl. So, with that being said, let the football games begin. I cannot wait until Sunday. I know you guys can't either. But I'm going to head out. It's almost 2 a.m. I'm going to relax and get ready for bed. So, with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Shout out to Steel Sermon, or now Max Sports, of course. Shout out to Stephen Rose as well. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog, and I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah. Again, my picks will be in the description too. This way, Mac and Stephen Rose don't have to watch the entire freaking stream to get my picks. All right, guys. Bye-bye.